So on this channel, we talk a lot about how Portland is made up of different neighborhoods that have the perfect blend of quiet residential and business and amenities. And so this is the perfect example of that. I'm currently standing in the historic Southeast Portland neighborhood of Sunnyside. There's about 3,400 homes here, many of them built in the early 1900s, as well as numerous bars, restaurants, food carts, cafes, grocery stores, and shops within walking distance of almost any home in the neighborhood. The neighborhood goes as far west as 28th Avenue and as far east as 49th. You've also got a really great kindergarten through 8th grade school here. To the north border, you have Stark, which is a major thoroughfare but is mostly residential. And to the south, you have Hawthorne, which is mostly commercial businesses. And in the middle is Belmont. Hawthorne and Belmont is home to most of the amenities, and I'll show you parts of both of those streets a little later in the video. But first, if you are thinking of planning a move here to this neighborhood or any part of the Portland metro area for that matter, whether that's in the near or distant future, make sure you reach out via call, text, or email, or better yet, just click the link below to schedule a video call with me personally so that we can have a conversation about your move to the Portland area and see how I can help you buy that perfect home. You're gonna find all my contact info right down below this video, so definitely get in touch so that we can figure out a plan to get you into your dream home. So right now I'm walking up onto Hawthorne Boulevard. As you can see, there's still a bunch of houses all around the neighborhood. A little bit of a history. This neighborhood and the east side of Portland in general was kind of developed to give Portland residents a contrast of the polluted and crowded downtown area. Some things never change, huh? So we're now coming up on Hawthorne, and you'll see a few shots between 35th and 37th Avenue. It's densely packed with so many shops. As you can see, I recommend trying this place called Fried Egg. I'm in love. There's also a great spot called Frog and Snail for crepes, among many other excellent places to explore right here. There's clothing stores, costume stores, food carts a little bit farther down towards 32nd that you should try. Everything is super good right here. So that's the part of Hawthorne that is pretty much to the west of Cesar Chavez, or if you're a local, you would call it 39th Avenue. If you cross 39th and go over to the east side of 39th, it's a little bit different. So we're gonna go take a look at that next. As we're cruising down Hawthorne here to the east, make sure you notice your grocery shopping options. Right on the corner, you got Fred Meyer, which is a huge grocery superstore. And coming up here, this is 39th Avenue. Coming up, you will see more restaurants. There's a great Indian spot right here, as well as a sushi spot. Then there's New Seasons on the right, which is like Whole Foods, but more Portland centric. You got a UPS store. You can run all your errands right here. And then as we get into the eastern part of Hawthorne, you'll notice it's starting to get a little bit less crowded, maybe a little bit less touristy. There's some good spots to eat, as well as some cool bars, which I'll talk about in a sec. So now we're over at the other end of Hawthorne. This is the west side of the Sunnyside neighborhood. It's a little bit more laid back. You've got like some cool bars. There's a bar right behind me called The Trough, which is really great if you love to play pool. And right up ahead of me here is an amazing pizza place called a Pizza Shoals. People line up around the block sometimes to get pizza here. Right here on Hawthorne, there's a lot of mixed use buildings. Like right here behind me is, as you can see, there's a lot of businesses. There's like a ramen place, there's a taco place, and then up above are apartments and condos. All right, now let's venture up to the Belmont district to show you how that street has lots of businesses, but also a completely different feel from Hawthorne. But on our way, I wanted to talk a little bit about the real estate market here in this neighborhood. Currently, the median home price is right around $670,000. You're gonna find mostly bungalows and craftsman style detached homes that were built in the early 1900s. But there's also a lot of condos that sell in this neighborhood. So you can also buy a 1-2 bedroom condo that ranges from the high 200s on up to the 400,000 to 500,000 range. A lot of the newer and more modern style condo buildings here that you'll see in this neighborhood were developed in the early 2000s, as opposed to the detached homes, which were built mostly between 1900 and 1920. All right, let's go see the Belmont areas. So as we weave our way through this lovely residential section of Sunnyside, you'll notice that the streets streets are pretty flat, so it's great for biking around or walking around. And the housing for the most part are super classic single family homes, as well as some apartments. So we're gonna start off right here at right around 45th and Belmont. Pretty chill neighborhood. There's a lot of newer construction. All of this behind me is newer builds, and right across the street is the iconic Movie Madness movie rental place. Those are a pretty rare breed these days. But looking up ahead, there's some even more new construction, as well as some mixed use stuff. You can see residential buildings up top and businesses down below. There's also a pretty awesome food cart spot here. I used to live right up the street from here and used to go to this food cart pod all the time. But across the street here, you've got some places like Slappy Cakes. That's like a make your own pancakes type of spot. There's your yoga studio, as well as Never Coffee up here, which is a really good local coffee spot. So again, this is the eastern part of Belmont, east of 39th Avenue or Cesar Chavez Avenue, whatever you want to call it. And if you look in either direction, to the north or south, you are in these detached residential areas again. Just to reinforce my point that there's always that sort of main drag right here. It's Belmont, and then in any direction, you've got your quiet residential neighborhood. Let's go on over to the west side of Cesar Chavez to show you the contrast of Belmont. Over there, it's gonna be a little bit more crowded and a little bit more densely packed, so let's go check it out. So now as we cruise back down Belmont, notice that the businesses are a bit more blended in and there's a bit more residential houses on this street. Here's 39th again, and there's a few cool spots on this part of Belmont, including a self-serve kombucha place. Is there anything more Portland than that? So now we're over here on the west side of Belmont. There's a stretch here that's about 3 blocks that's just all bars and restaurants. And notice behind me, this is the historic Belmont Firehouse. It's a pretty cool place to go. Take the kids, slide down the fire pole. There's some pretty good restaurants over here, as well as some bars. There's even a small music venue. This little stretch of businesses is pretty awesome. There's like a taco place right there. As you can see, there's always outdoor seating too. The Sweet Hereafter, that's like a good bar slash restaurant type of place, and little shops. One of my favorite places though in this whole stretch of Belmont is this place right here, which is H Mart. It's a Korean market. You can get lots of good Asian products. There's also a pretty cool place to eat called Laughing Planet that's back there. All kinds of good stuff, burritos, burrito bowls. So another thing that's super great about the Sunnyside neighborhood is that it's very close to 2 of the most awesome parks in all of Portland. If you go to the north, just on the north border of Sunnyside, you'll find Laurelhurst Park, which is massive. And if you go to the east border, you will get to Mount Tabor Park, which I talk about both of those in this video right here. So go ahead and check that one out next. We'll see you over there, and thanks for watching.